Hey guys, Perrin here, and in this lesson we are going to talk about how to reverse engineer your competitors to find tons of great keywords. The basic idea is to find competitors really close to your authority based on their DA, which you can see in the mods bar, see which keywords they're ranking for, and then possibly write similar articles covering similar topics to see if you can rank for some of the same stuff. I'm going to show you how to do this with a paid tool, Ahrefs, which you all know is one of our favorite tools, but I'm also going to show you how to do this using free versions of tools. So if you don't like paying for tools, or if you're doing keyword research on a budget, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to do this for free, as well as how to use paid tools to gather data a little bit more quickly. If you've been following along with the blueprint so far, you probably already have a good list of competitors. For the sake of the video, I'm just imagining that I have a new coffee blog and I want to find some lower DA competitors. I just Googled coffee blogs. In some markets, it's going to be different. For coffee, it happens to be pretty easy to find some low domain authority blogs. I checked some of these and I found the best examples, and I've already pulled them into Ahrefs. But you can see how you can just scroll through the results, look at a whole bunch, and then see which have the best opportunities. But let's take a look at what these actually look like inside the tools. So this is the first blog I found, which is coffeehunter.org. It's getting quite a bit of traffic, and so I thought it might be a good target. I pulled it into Ahrefs and I navigated to the Positions Explorer tab. There's a lot of data on this page. What I'm most interested in are the top 5 organic keywords section, and don't worry, we're going to look at more than just these 5, and then the top pages. You can control click learn more here and learn more here to open both of those and then sort of compare them against each other. Let's look at the organic keywords first though. These are all of the keywords, or the best keywords anyway, that coffeehunter.org is ranking for. By default, Ahrefs organizes these by the percentage of traffic or by the estimated traffic that keyword is pulling in. It's just an estimate based on Ahrefs' internal algorithm, but it still gives you a really good idea of how successful each keyword is. So, for example, we can see that the best keyword for coffeehunter.org is flat white. We can see their position, we can see the search volume, and then if we click this, we can see the actual article. One thing to note here is that a lot of the top keywords tend to be very similar. And if we look at the URL, we can see that they are being ranked for by the same page. So it's not a whole bunch of articles ranking for all these top keywords. It's just a couple of pages that are bringing in tons of traffic. What you'll see when you look at these results is usually one of two things. You'll find blogs that have a certain article that's ranking for a whole bunch of keywords, or you'll find blogs that have lots of little keywords that are bringing in smaller portions of traffic spread out over a lot more articles. In this case, it's the former. So there are a bunch of similar keywords, and one article is ranking for most of them. Still, we can scroll through their list of keywords and pull out the ones that look really good. However, because we know that one article is bringing in so much traffic, what we might want to do, instead of looking at individual keywords, is look at that one killer article to see if we can create something similar. We would do that by navigating to the original results and then clicking on the top 5 pages section. This will show us all of the top content. And if we navigate to that tab, you can see all the top pages, and again, it's organized by traffic. And as we suspected, this article is bringing in the most traffic by far. So there are 2 ways we could approach this particular website. We could either look at keywords and see which ones are worth ranking for, or we could reverse engineer some of these top pieces of content. What I might do also is just look at these top pieces of content. In this case, it's this flat white versus latte. I've already opened it. It looks like a pretty good article, honestly, but it's only about 1,000 words, and there's lots of room for other media. So maybe a video demonstration or an infographic, or even some more content or a couple recipes or something that would make this article more interesting. The bottom line though is that this is certainly a keyword and an article that we can compete for. What we also know is that particular article is ranking for all of these keywords. Some of these are for a different article, but it's ranking for a lot of these top keywords. So if we were to recreate that article, we could work in some of these secondary keywords in there so that we could potentially rank for all of this stuff too. Of course, not every site is going to look like this. Some sites are going to be ranking for smaller keywords over a greater number of articles. So let's look at an example of one of those. So this is the other example I found, purecoffeeblog.com. Again, I'll scroll down to the organic keyword section and I will open that in a new tab. And this is what it looks like. You can see that from the traffic section, none of these keywords are bringing in tons of traffic, but the blog has pretty good traffic and it's ranking fairly well for a lot of different keywords. So instead of looking at that one key article like we did for the other coffee blog, coffeehunter.org, I think it was, here it might be a better idea to just take a bunch of these smaller keywords and produce some easier articles. These likely aren't going to have many links. They look pretty easy. They're really cool keywords, and it'll give us an opportunity to create more articles or a higher volume of articles than the other one might have. If you do come across a few competitors that give you some good opportunities like we found here. So we found at least 2 blogs here that look like they have some pretty good opportunities that might be worth going after ourselves. I would just create a spreadsheet and record a couple simple pieces of data. The keyword, obviously, the URL of the competitor who is actually ranking, the position that article is ranking for in Google, and then the search volume. This is mostly all you need. What you might notice is missing here is a keyword difficulty metric. So a lot of you probably know how to do keyword research with keyword tools like Longtail Pro or SE Cockpit or Market Samurai. And what those tools do best is give you a difficulty metric, a metric that says this keyword is easy or hard. That's missing here. The reason is if you know your competitor who is around your authority is ranking for a keyword, you already know it's pretty easy, or even if it looks hard in a tool, you know that it's working for one of your competitors. And because it's such a low risk to go after one keyword, all it takes is a couple hours writing an article. It's usually just worth a try anyway, so I don't even bother with it. This is all of the data I record when I'm doing competitor research. So as a quick recap, if you're going to do the paid version of competitor reverse engineering, keyword research with Ahrefs, you would go find some competitors, you would pull them into the tool, you would look at the top organic keywords, and you would look at the top pages if you thought it was necessary. Then you would just pull them into this spreadsheet, not this exact spreadsheet, but a spreadsheet that records the same type of stuff, and just pull in as many as you can. You don't want to pull all of them from one competitor because you don't want to create the exact same site somebody else creates, but if you're looking at a whole bunch of competitors, you'll usually end up with a whole lot of really good keywords and you'll have a pretty diverse mix of the stuff you could be writing about. So that's the paid version. That's the easiest and most robust way, I think, to do competitor reverse engineering keyword research is to use the paid version of Ahrefs. If you're on a budget and you want to do it for free, or if you're trying to bootstrap or something, there are a couple of ways to do this particular method without paying. The first is to sign up for a 14-day free trial of Ahrefs. You can do a 14-day free trial of any plan, and then if you absolutely have to, you can just cancel. I really recommend paying for Ahrefs for at least a little bit. I end up using the tool all the time, even when I'm not doing huge batches of keyword research. However, if you needed to, you could just sign up for the 14-day trial, do some keyword research, and then cancel. The other tool I like to use is SEMrush, and I'll show you those same examples we just looked at in Ahrefs inside the free version of SEMrush. So this is the free version of SEMrush, and you can see I've pulled in the same blog, coffeehunter.org. You would just insert this into the search field, click search, make sure it's the domain only, and then click positions, which is how you see the keywords in in SEMrush. And then you would scroll down and then you can see a very similar list. So it's these keywords, the position, the search volume, and then you can see which URL is actually ranking, and you can also see the percentage of traffic. Of course, because this is a free version, you can't see all the keywords. It's going to limit you. And that can be kind of a pain. However, if you want to make up for that, if you still want to do a whole bunch of competitor research, you can simply look at more sites. So instead of looking at one site and seeing hundreds or thousands of results, you can just plop in a couple of dozen different blogs and look at the top 10 results for each. SEMrush does limit you in its free version to daily searches, so you might have to search for 5 or 10 or whatever the limit is, I forget. Come back the next day, search for another small batch, but still over a week or so of light keyword research, you can look at a whole lot of competitors and get a whole lot of ideas for content and keywords that you might be able to rank for. Overall, this is one of my favorite keyword research strategies. It has a couple of big advantages. The first is that the stuff that you find using competitor market research is already proven in your niche. So if you find a keyword and your competitor is already doing really well with it, you know that you have really good odds of doing well with it too. Secondly, you can find lots and lots and lots of keywords this way. Even if you don't have a big list of competitors, if you're in the Positions Explorer, you can see all the top competitors right here. All you have to do is click on them and you can go to their Ahrefs page and look at their keywords. So if you're just following your nose and you're looking at 50 or 100 competitors in one keyword sitting, you can see how it's pretty easy to rack up the keywords really, really quickly. Typically, this is much faster than trying to brainstorm and run a bunch of keywords through tools. The last thing I really like about competitor reverse engineering is that you'll find stuff that you would have never thought of, right? So, for example, one of the keywords we found for the coffee blogs was milk steamer. If I was going to write a coffee blog and I didn't know anything about being a barista, I might not think to look for keywords on milk steamers, right? So, because you're looking at all of the stuff that all of these blogs are writing about, you'll end up finding stuff that you would have never thought of, and you're not limited by your imagination, which you might be with other tools. So it's a really good strategy. I mix this up and I use it with other strategies, but it's certainly a cornerstone of my research, and I highly recommend you guys do it. So take it away and good luck.